So it definitely feels like the last couple days have been a blur. I feel like I was making good progress on stuff, and then suddenly I started traveling. I started having some busyness with school, and then it's not that everything tanked, but it's that, there was this wall. There was this wall of like, oh, the progress was really good, but then I felt like I was halted somewhat. But, you know, with spring, kicking into gear and summer slowly starting to grind there, it feels like I'm turning a new leaf. It feels like I'm turning this corner of like, really good stuff incoming. I feel like I had a productive weekend at least, even if I didn't film a bunch of stuff. I ran a 5K with my sister. I worked out a ton with my brother, and yeah, stuff was like continually moving. I haven't lost anything. If anything, I've gained a lot. Not very often I work out like 6 days a week compared to the 5 I've been, only able to do at school. So that was pretty cool this weekend. That was pretty cool just getting everything in. But today, that means the workout's a little bit different. It looks not as linear as we've had before. It's gonna be combined from multiple different types of workouts. I got a little bit of jump rope to do, I've got the tail end of legs, and I've got about a half a chest day to do. So really, it's just gonna be like a hodgepodge all cobbled together of what's next? What do we still have left on the table that I've left behind to start the week out? So we're starting the week almost by eating some leftovers, some weightlifting leftovers is what I guess I'll call it. Pretty cool. It's kind of going to be a full body sort of thing, so I don't know. I'm not doing any back and biceps things with it, so that's the at least crucial part that's lacking here. But just some chest and triceps and a little bit of leg work, and we're going to get it moving. So yeah, happy to have the camera back, happy to be back to filming, so let's see how it goes. Okay, starting us out at a loud, semi-crowded gym, we got 40 pounds for 10 on cable crossovers. A lower chest focus. Kind of a good thing to start with, really pushing out what we're like, what takes the most weight. This is a movement where, it's really about that lower chest strain. So it's really going to be focused on performance and power, really pushing out like, 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, some of those type of like rep ranges. That's more when you're focusing on power, or when you're focusing on like how much can I put into this, compared to like if you're doing something like 12, 15, 20 reps, that's when you're looking for more hypertrophy. So not as much hypertrophy with this one, it's more about power. And we're still kind of balancing it, but we're getting to a point where it's becoming more and more comfortable. Oh, forgot to put 40 on each of them. Whoops, there's 40 there, and that one is all the way at 100. Definitely cannot do that one. Okay, let's reset. Mentally reset. First set. All right, good work on that. Good work on that. Okay, after first set was in such control, gives me a little bit more confidence moving into the second set of like really pulling all the way through, really kind of like getting that cross that is so important in cable crossover. So looking to repeat that, focus more on the cross. Whew. Okay, I'm liking this. Obviously, I have a little bit more energy than a normal chest day, but it's still looking good. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much fatigue plays a role into these things, because like obviously it's looking really good compared to like my other sets of cable crossover. But at the same time, usually when I do cable crossover, I've already had pretty good, bench sets and stuff. I've already had pretty good sets of everything else. So how much does fatigue play a role? I mean, plenty of gym content creators have already made the kind of comparison, the metaphor of like, you have this bucket of energy, and every movement that you have, that bucket tips over just a little bit and spills out more and more energy. It's, I don't know. it's to the point where like even through the hat you'll be able to see how messy my hair is once we get to the end of this workout. And that's just like all the energy pouring out. That's just pouring out your heart and soul into a lift. But when you're starting out at the very beginning, you know, you don't want to get how did I phrase this? You don't want to get swayed by what your performance looks like at the very top of a set, because you can make big bold claims all day long from one set. When you're doing 3 or 4 sets, pushing everything to your max limit, yeah, it's gonna look a lot different. It's gonna look a lot crazier. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Last set. Oh, I'm gonna change up my foot position for one of them. Okay, that's a wrap on that. Good cable crossover sets. Okay, so, my bad. So, dumbbell shrugs are another movement where it's not about the hypertrophy as much, it's more about going heavy. But at the same time, the goal for today is 75s for 12. I have been mastering 75s for 10 for a little while, but I want to make sure that I can manage 75 for, you know, higher reps before I increase to 80, because 80 is going to be, it's going to be such a beast. 75 is already hard enough as it is. So, you know, 80s are going to be decently a huge struggle, especially getting them off the rack. So, still working on 75 for a little bit, but trying to get 11 or 12 now. Yeah, I'll just lift light with this one. So I do this and just pose. Yeah, did it 2 days ago. Yeah, it was pretty similar actually. Push. Is it called bicep push? You do the sweep. Okay, that's manageable enough. It's manageable enough with my grip. It's a pretty busy day at the gym. It's always a good thing to see everybody like getting out, getting lifting. Albeit it is a Monday, and Mondays, you know, see those spikes from beginning of the week, like let's start our week off right type of lifters. But at the same time, you know, the more the merrier. I love seeing you know, just a group of everybody, regardless of like their background, regardless of race, history, sex, like any of that stuff. Leave all that stuff aside. That's not what the gym is for. Gym is for everyone. It's so great to see everyone here. It gives me a new sense of like motivation to pursue lifting. Come on, two more. Readjust the grip. Okay. 12's getting a little harder with minimal rest, but we'll get there. The one bad part of having a mirror sitting right in front of you is I need to see how badly I need to shave. Like, gosh, I haven't shaved in a couple days because I didn't have my, I forgot to bring my razor home, so, and I've just been too lazy in between class to actually shave it. So tonight there needs to be a grand shave. There doesn't need to be any lollygagging on that front because the beard looks horrific, guys. The beard will never be a miles per hour staple. That's never coming a part of who I am. I can't pull it off. Okay, that is definitely the ceiling. That was feeling really good. So, we've done some upper body stuff, but now it's time to transition into leg extension. Leg extension is something I've been toning for just a little bit now. Let me adjust this just slightly for my feet. Come on now. down here. Leg extension is something I've kind of like been adjusting for myself lately, trying to get it moving because I'm not as used to it as I am compared to like other movements. I've said before, it's not something I was, totally relying on doing just because, squats and other stuff exists. They have good focus on the quads just as they are, but I really like the tension I feel on leg extensions. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's pure quads, it just feels like there's some type of isolation that's better. Obviously, I used to do more pistol squats and stuff and really train up my knee stability, but now loading the extra weight, I feel like that kind of offsets that. And obviously, I could still go back to pistol squats if I want, but I'm less passionate about pushing pistol squats forward just because, yeah, it's a single leg thing, but I don't know. Leg extensions, I feel, even though pistol squats are a better functional strength, I'm not really an athlete. I don't really need as much knee strength as I used to comparative to like soccer and other stuff that I used to participate in. If I'm really trying to bodybuild for the sake of bodybuilding, as long as I train my cardio, that helps me the same way. As long as I have like heart healthy, that's good. If I have like knee strength and stuff, that's good, for old age. It might be something I incorporate as I get older and want to have better knee health, but for now, the bodybuilding aspect of while I'm young, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm looking for. So 160 for 12, we'll do another set of that, and we'll drop it down to 155 and push out our half reps. Okay. Whew. A little bit of adjusting. So I kept slamming the rep. Okay. Second set of this. I adjusted it a little bit so my range of motion is better. So less of a chance of actually hitting the machine. And more of a chance of extending how far it goes down to where, the reps are better. The reps are a lot more conclusive and a lot more, stretch oriented for how much my quads are wanting to grow. But aside from that, just readjusting the machine to how I normally want. This is a weight increase. Last time I did 160 for the top set and then decreased after that to 155 for the rest. Doing 160, this is really gonna have to pull it out. It's gonna really pull out a lot. See, I'm already losing breath. This is really going to pull a lot out of me. So, bite your tongue, dig deep, and focus on your breathing. That was a good set. That was a lot more intentional than I was before. I'm not moving through any motions. That was great. All right, one more set. Bumping down. I thought about bumping down to 155, but I'm going to stay 160 because that second set had a lot of intentionality, and I surprised myself with how much I did. So I want to not underestimate myself, not underestimate what I can do. Obviously, half reps at the very end of all this stuff, but 12 reps of 60. It's doable. It's very, very, very doable. So let's just see. There's not even anything to see. Really, it's just it's interesting because I'm documenting this for you guys. But, even with the homies watching as an audience, a lot of the emphasis is on me. A lot of the emphasis is on, I'm going to have to dig deep for some reps. And a lot of what's going on is kind of under the hood. The camera's capturing the outside, the ugly lifting faces and stuff. But the internal thoughts of what are going on, the internal drive, the internal, one more rep, 2 more reps, you got this, all of that talk, it's not captured. I don't have a Neuralink inside me to show, all the different, parts of my brain lighting up. I don't have scans going on mid-workout to kind of see that. That's up to science bros, more than gym bros, but, in a sense, there's kind of something lost. I try to communicate it as best as possible to you guys. In every video, I get a little bit better at communicating my emotions of what I'm feeling mid-workout, but a lot of it is in the moment. If you're under a heavy bench press, that's a lot different emotions, that's a lot different of thoughts compared to, sitting pre-set and just yep, I'm going to feel this, I'm going to feel that. You don't know how you're going to feel, not until you get under it. So give ourselves some good things to, give ourselves some heavy weight to put ourselves through, and then that's when we're going to feel the real emotions. 160, doable. I already know. Ooh, see? That's more than you think you can do. It's more than what you can even expect. Well, when you've pushed your legs so hard to the point where you can't walk anymore, you got to do an arm only type of exercise. At least for a full body workout, arm only exercises post legs. You know, it allows you to have leg drive on other parts of the exercise, and you can tell by how fractured my sentences are that I'm pretty tired. So 11 full reps of tricep dips is going to be an intense load, but my triceps aren't taxed at all, no overhead triceps, so we're going to do a little bit better than we normally are. Alright, pretty easy, pretty simple, without, overhead tricep extension. Definitely differs a little bit. Second set, gotta dig deep a little bit. Tricep dips have always been, not a weak point for me, but something that I've really had to focus on for a while. I remember back when I was first learning them, I didn't understand how to do them effectively, and I put more emphasis on my shoulders. It's not what you want to do. You really want to make sure you're pulling back and really feeling out the tricep, right behind that bicep, really feeling out that muscle. And it's also a lower chest movement, so it's activating a couple different muscles that until you get to an advanced lifting stage, you might not recognize all the way. It's super important to kind of feel out your mind-muscle connection as you grow more and more and more and more. But something I struggled with for a little while, and then now, even mastering my body weight, trying to go up with a vest changes the game a lot. Changes the game a little bit. There's a lot of digging deep. I've said that so much today, and that's really kind of what it is. Getting yourself back in the motions. I lifted a lot this weekend. I lifted a lot this week, but I'm kind of out of breath. I'm kind of tired, and picking up scrappy parts of movements, it's not something my body's used to. Throw in a different order of movements. It allows you to break out of your routine. It allows you to revitalize your plan and stuff. And so it requires pushing forward. It requires pushing forward no matter what. Don't go through those motions. Go through the workout. Be honest with it. Be honest. And that was really, really good. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. Getting back into the range of a camera, it's not something I'm used to yet. One more set. Hopefully I'll actually sound like a human. Tricep dips, almost coming to a close. Almost feeling like we have things mastered with 11. Without the tricep dip fatigue, it really, really makes a difference. So 11 more. It doesn't seem like a big hurdle, especially with a decent rest period. Next we'll have 2 more things. I think we'll go for incline dumbbell press next. And yeah, it's been a pretty fast workout, honestly. Just one day. And it kind of, between gyms, there can be such a difference between my home gym and between this gym. There's such a difference. The energies of the gyms are so different between a more calm, more easygoing, a more lifestyle approach gym to, an athletic performance gym in a college. The vibes are so much different than you would think at first glance. I'm pretty sure that was 7, but I'm pretty sure that was 11. I'm going to throw in one more, just for safety. Okay. Just for safety. I lost count on that one, but still good tricep dip reps. Okay. 55s for, I'm wanting to ladder up. 8, 9, 10. Kind of pick ourselves up in pace and stuff. I don't know how it's going to go with this heavier weight. It is a weight increase, so remains to be seen, but let's take it one set at a time. Really try to hone that breathing, focus on what we're doing. Okay, 8 solid reps with the potential, with a little bit of strain to go forward. So it's a good movement. Okay, second set. Gonna reach pretty far into the depths, try to pull out the rest of my chest strain because hamstrings are what's next, and that has nothing to do with the upper body. So the rest of upper body is all concentrated around this one last part of the movement, because the rest of the workout has gone pretty smoothly, and the only thing that's sore is the lower chest from cable crossover. So the rest of what we got focused is primarily upper chest, primarily just honing out the rest of it, since middle chest we trained last week, and it was super efficient, and over the weekend. So I'm happy with that. Now time to tone everything else to really build the solid pectoral strength. All right, moving super good. Without the fatigue, incline dumbbell press looks a lot different. All right. Last little set with chest to really put the cherry on top for this before we strap up and hit our RDLs with some passion, with some energy. And that means that we got to actually match that energy for the last little set of this. 10 reps seems pretty reasonable. I'm not trying to jump up super high because I'm doing this obviously not pre-fatigued with other types of chest movements, and something to take into account when you're working and building different muscles. Obviously you can get more strength in if you don't have a taxed chest. So I'm not wanting to jump up too high, so future me in the gym is like, yeah, I absolutely cannot meet these stratospheric expectations. And that's not the goal. The goal is to naturally move up in a way that's controllable, in a way that's, shooting beyond my expectations, like I did earlier with leg extension, but at the same time, not shooting so high to where I start hitting failure and not growing like my muscle by just like failing after 2 reps. It's the opposite of what we want. So enough yapping, more into the reps. A little off kilter, a little off center, but in the end, really great incline press. So all that's left is RDS. Lord, we are so freaking close, homies. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen, to hitting 2 plates. But unfortunately, what we have racked up for us right now still needs a bit of perfecting. Still needs a bit of that touch of getting things, all kitted up. It's not like you can just naturally go in and be like, yeah, I got this. No warm up, no preparation. Just try to handle this as is. No, it's not how it goes. You need to make sure you have things rounded out. You need to make sure you have good control of the weight before you go up. And for 220, we still need a little bit of work. It's crazy their difference, 5 pounds. How much of a difference that 5 pounds can make, but it's there. It's there. It's ever present, and we need to hone it a little more. So let's get deep. Let's hold our grip very, very strongly. Let's crank out some RDLs to finish up this great workout. All right, pretty easy without the hamstring extension. So 2 more. You want to hear a confession real quick? Something I probably shouldn't put out there on the internet. Something that, if my mom heard it, she'd probably be disappointed. I slept in the shirt last night. Has a little logo. It says North Pole Brewing on it. My girlfriend got it for me around Christmas time. It's a super, super comfy sleep shirt. But also the fun part about it is that you can get away with it as a regular shirt. Super comfy. Matches with some maroon, some navy and maroon. I mean, the shoes aren't matching, the lifting straps aren't matching, but no matter. We don't care about that stuff. Stuff's not as important as the comfy sleep shirt. Maybe that's a hack for lifting. Maybe the comfy sleep shirt is what separates the greats. Staying comfy during a lift, having good, lifting clothes that can hype you up. Sometimes that makes a difference. It's all personal preference. It's like what you're catered to, what really gets you hyped up in the end that you really need to focus on honing. Stuff that, stupid to everyone else, but to you, makes you feel happy, makes you feel good. Positive emotions always equal more gains. Oh, jeez. Almost didn't rack it on correctly. Whew, managed that up. One more set of RDLs, and then I'll do some jump rope on my own and cut to a talk. All right, some muscle twinges, but we're looking pretty decent. Open to close. That's what way we're rocking today. Did some jump rope. The gym was like, we're done. We're out. Employees left, and I got up and left too. A great lift today. I was actually really happy with how the progress went. I was happy with how steady everything felt. School gym, it's kind of, I don't know. It's almost, I still got a little bit of time with it left in my first academic year, and it's interesting. I was making some small summer plans for how gym lifts are going to go this summer, and I think I won't be skipping a beat when it comes to like getting good movements, good lifts in. So I'm happy with that. I'm ready. How fast the videos are going to come out, that remains to be seen. The summer grind with work and some different stuff. I might be getting my bread up, but we might be getting maybe not 5 days a week with videos, but we'll have better videos, some challenge videos, some home workouts, different stuff like that. Stuff to make things interesting, keep things light on their feet. But not a ton to talk about today. I feel like I'm really talked out. I talked a lot today. I had a big presentation today. I've been hanging out, catching up with some friends. It's been super nice. Not totally hungry, but the good thing about going home is that my parents supplied me with some good fruit. So I got some grapes. I got some strawberries. Strawberries are in season. They're so good. And I've got some Honeycrisp apples, which surprisingly, even though it's not fall, They're so sweet. I've been having some of the school's apples lately, and they taste a little sloppish. They kind of put out some apples that are a little bit old, but getting some fresh, like, out of the bag Honeycrisp, nothing hits harder. Nothing hits harder. But I'm looking forward to how things are going. I'm looking forward to what's been going on lately, and good lift today. Good progress. I'm pretty satisfied. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate you watching. I'm gonna go get a shave, like I mentioned earlier, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.